Hello students. Now our next topic is gravitation, and first we will talk about Newton's law of gravitation, or this is also called as universal law of gravitation. Since in universe every mass or each mass attracts each other with some force, or that force is given by this Newton's law of gravitation. So this law states that if 2 point masses m1 and m2 are placed r distance apart, so here I set point masses, so 2 point masses, so the masses will be said to be point masses if r means the distance between the two masses is very much larger than the size of the two masses. Then we will say that the masses are the point masses. Means if I'm in universe, if I'm talking about the force of attraction between earth and the sun, then in both these cases, since the distance between earth and sun is very much larger than the size of the earth, then we will say that this earth and sun can be taken as point masses. So means if the distance is very much greater than the size of the objects, then we will say that the masses are the point masses. So if 2 point masses are placed r distance apart, then the force of attraction between them means they will attract each other. So they will attract each other means the mass m1 will attract the mass m2 and the mass m2 will attract the mass m1, and the force with which this mass m1 is attracted towards m2, and this is the force with which the mass m1 attracts the mass m2. So these are written as, this is force on 1 due to 2, or force on 1 by 2, and this is force on 2 by 1. So these are represented in this way. So look at the direction of both these forces. So they are equal in magnitude, but they will be different in direction. So we can also say that F12 is equal to F minus of F21. And please remember that this force of attraction is always along the line joining the centers of the two masses. Now the force of the attraction, this force F, force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of the masses. Means it is product of masses means m1 m2. So that's why it is also called as the product law, or it follows the product law, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two masses, means 1 over r square. So because of this reason, it is also called as the inverse square law, or it also follows the inverse square law. So the force of attraction between the two masses m1 and m2 is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And if we combine these two equations, then we get the force is directly proportional to m1 m2 over r square. And since we know that if we remove this proportionality sign, then we always place a constant. So in the equal to sign, this will be replaced by g multiply m1 m2 over r square. So this is the law, or this is called as Newton's law of gravitation, where this g is called as gravitational constant. And from this relation we can find the unit. So SI unit, or unit of this g is, so from here I can write g is equal to F multiply r square over m1 m2. Means this will be equal to Newton meter square per kg square So Newton meter square per kg square is the unit of g. So this is what we can remember. So SI unit of g is this. So this is SI unit. Now its value. So the value of G is taken as 6.67 multiplied 10 raised to power minus 11, and the unit is Newton meter square per kg square. So this is what we have to remember. Now we have to look upon what is G. What is G? So in this relation, if I take M1, if M1 is equal to M2 is equal to 1 kg, if both these masses are 1 kg and the distance of separation between them is taken as 1 meter, then the gravitational constant will be equal to the force of attraction between the two masses. Now in this way we can define this. So numerically G is equal to the force of attraction between two unit masses, if they are placed 1 meter apart. So then numerically G is equal to F, means, so this is the way to define this. So it is defined as, so G is defined as, or it is numerically equal to, as the magnitude of force, force of attraction between two unit masses placed 1 meter apart. So this is the definition for this. Now from this we can talk about the force of attraction between the two masses of 1 kg placed 1 meter apart. So from this, since we have got the value of G as 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11, so this is not a very large value because of this power minus 11, so it is very, very small value. But anyhow we can calculate the force of attraction between two masses. So the force of attraction between two masses of 1 kg will be equal to G. So G is taken as 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 multiply, if I am taking M1 as 1 kg and M2 as also 1 kg, then, and the distance between them is also 1. So then the force of attraction will be 6.67 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton. So what is this now? So this is the force of attraction between two masses of 1 kg placed 1 meter apart. So this is the first point that we can look. Similarly, we can also calculate the force of attraction between Earth and Moon. So mass of Moon is taken as 7.36 multiply 10 raised to power 22 kg, and mass of Earth is equal to 5.96 multiply 10 raised to power 24 kg, and the distance between the two, so here distance between the two is 3.8 multiply 10 raised to power 8 meter. So if we use this value in this formula, F is equal to G M1 M2 over R square, then we can find the force of attraction between Earth and Moon. So this will be equal to 6.67 multiply 10 raised to power minus 11 multiply 5.96 multiply 10 raised to power 24 multiply 7.36 into 10 raised to power 22 over 5.96 multiply 10 raised to power 25 whole square. Now on calculation, so we get this as 2 multiply 10 raised to power 20 Newton. So from this discussion, have a look. So the force of attraction between two very small masses is very, very much smaller than this force. So means this is a force between two heavenly bodies. So if the masses are very, very much greater, then the force of attraction will also be greater. And if the masses are small, then the force will also be very, very small. So from here we can conclude that, or we can also say that this force of attraction is only or mainly due to the masses. So every mass in the universe attracts each other, and the magnitude depends upon the product of their masses, and this force is always attractive. So now, what is the importance of this? What is the importance of this? So importance of gravitational law. So now this force can explain, or it explains the motion of planets around the sun, or it also explains the motion of satellites. Satellite means in our case we are talking about moon, satellite around earth, or satellites around the planet. Means in our case satellite is moon and planet is earth. Also it can explain the free fall, the motion of freely falling body. So freely falling body means if I leave something at some height from the surface of the earth, then that body will definitely fall to the surface of the earth. Now based on this we talk about one thing that is called as the force of gravity. Now I am going to talk about force due to gravity. Force due to gravity means this is the force with which earth attracts anything or any mass towards its center, So if we are taking the mass of the earth as 5.96 multiplied 10 raised to power 24 kg, and radius is approximately 6400 kilometer, so that is equal to 6.37 into 10 raised to power 6 meter. And if we place, let us say that now this is earth and this is some mass 1 kg I am saying now, so this mass is equal to 1 kg, and if it is lying on the surface, then it will be attracted towards the center of the earth. So this is, if this is the earth, then I am taking this as the center of the earth and this is the radius of the earth. So now in this case the force of attraction between the mass, or this mass will be attracted toward the center with the force that will be given by F is equal to 6.67 multiply 10 raised to power minus 11 multiply 5.96 multiply 10 raised to power 24, and I have taken this mass as 1 kg, so that will be equal to 1, and here the distance between the two will be equal to 6.37 multiplied 10 raised to power 6, and now it's square. So these were Newton. So if we calculate this, so for this we get its value as equal to 9.8 Newton. So means earth attracts a mass of 1 kg with a force of 9.8 Newton towards its center, and if we are taking this mass above the surface, then also we will say that this mass, so if this distance is say 1 kilometers, then it will be very very much smaller than this 6400 kilometer approximately. So in this case also, if we take r as the same value, means if this is not much greater than the radius of the earth, then we, in our Newton's law, we say that both the masses attract each other. Now someone can say that why this mass is not attracting earth towards this mass, but it is always attracted towards the earth. So the reason is, since this body is free to move, and its mass is also, I'm saying 1 kg, so its mass is also very very much less than the mass of the earth. So this will always get, or this will always move towards the center of the earth. So because of mass, the inertia of earth will be greater. Because of mass, inertia of earth will be greater, and this body is also free to move. So therefore this body will always start moving towards the center of the earth. So this is the reason why this mass or earth will not move. Every body above the surface or at certain height will always move towards the center of the earth, since the mass of 1 kg is attracted towards the surface of the earth with a force of 9.8 Newton. If it is 2, then it will be multiplied by 2 and so on. So if mass will increase, then the force of attraction will also increase. So now I hope that you can read some of the pages from your book up to force due to gravity and understand the topic. Then the remaining things we will talk about in our next lecture. Thank you. Have a nice day.